shaking underneath, trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain, game of survival. Any time or place, watch them run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my throne. I got no rival. Watch them run away. I got no, I got no rival.
How are we all doing? Welcome back to Turf Moorhouse TV, and it's been a while since we did a video. Obviously, I am still waiting for an MK Dons fan regarding the Scott Twine video, and I'm trying to find a City fan who watches the reserves and the under-23s to give us their point of view on CJ Egan-Riley and Taylor Harwood-Bellis. But we are here to predict the Championship. Neil said Champions League. I'm getting ahead of myself. A Championship League table for next season. Where will Burnley finish? Where will the newly promoted sides end up? Will they drop through the trap door again? We will see. We will see. Guys, if you are new around here, as I say, please do drop us a like on this video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. All you got to do is click that little button that says subscribe. It's free, and it shows your support for the channel and helps us grow and put out better content for you guys. So please do support us. Other than that, hit the notification bell as well if you want to be notified. And we are on other social media platforms, and this is where you can find us. So as I say, you can catch us on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. And we are on TikTok, but it's a slow process. But all you got to do is search Turf Moorhouse. And as I say, you can find us on there. Please get involved in the comments as well. Let us know who you think is going to finish in certain positions. Obviously, we're going to start from the bottom of the division in last place, working our way up to the top of the division. So it makes things very interesting. Let us know your comments. As I say, we'll get to a couple of your comments now and see what you guys have been saying. First up, we have Delboy, who's come in. I know Delboy's been busy, but he says, smash that like button. Please do. Please do smash that like button and hit that subscription button. It really does help. It costs nothing and it helps the channel grow. So please do. Hope you are well, Delboy. The missus is in, checking everything's fine. And it certainly is. Smashing the intro. Thank you very, very much. Forever my biggest critic, but I know she'll always support me when needed. Chris Welch is in the house. He says, evening, pal. Hope you're well and looking forward to the Premier League season. Oh, wait, I mean the Championship. Just messing, pal. That coming from a Carlisle fan, that cuts deep. That cuts deep. And Chris Welch says he'll be doing his Championship predictions on the 18th of July. Don't blame you. Don't blame you. People have still got to make signings and things like that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens from there. Martin's in. He says, how are you doing? How you doing, Martin Mack? How is things? How are you? How's the family? Hope everybody is well. Matt Green is in the chat. Matt Green is in the chat. He will be looking forward to this as well, obviously. He said he wanted to come on earlier, but I'd obviously already done all the stuff set out for one person, but we will get Mark on soon as well for another show. Please do go check out Mark's channel, as well as other people in the chat as well, like Chris, and we will take it from there. Chris again is in the chat. Norwich and Watford already have their promotion parties. It would not surprise me if they have already sorted out a promotion bus for the end of the season. Joey's in over on Facebook. As I say, you can check us out on Facebook. Go over there. He says, HMS Pistol League is on course to set sail 29th of July, up the Clarets. I hope so. I hope so. But I've tried to be as realistic as possible with the outgoings and trying to get the team to gel and things like that. So I think I've been nice. We'll see. We'll see. The Clarets are going up. Exactly. Basta staying down and the Clarets are going up. The Clarets are going up. I can't wait for match days and belting some tunes out and the numerous rivalry away games that we can get to. Chris is in as well. Says TikTok is a nonsense progress, never match flow. Yeah, it is. To be fair, it is. It's a bit of a drag because you've got to sort of like edit it all up into like long ways and think. Yeah, too much faffing, too much messing about. Joey says, love the intro. Thank you very much, Joey. Thank you very much indeed. And Mark says, you are smashing it on YouTube, to be fair. Thank you so much. I have realised I've been gaining, on average, about a subscriber a day. Not far off 500 now. If we can reach 500, hopefully before the end of the year. I'm trying to be realistic with the target. So, yeah, if we can hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll be very, very happy indeed. Or before the World Cup. Sod it, before the World Cup. Joey says, we're going up, they're staying down. Well, we'll see. We will see. So let's get into it then. Let's get it all up and ready. So this is the championship prediction. So this is what me personally I think may happen. As I say, these teams are still yet to lose players, purchase players, transfers galore. We all know what deadline day is like. But as Fabrizio Romano would say, here we go. So in last place, I don't know what Joe's on about. Sudbury Athletic FC. Carl's in as well. Says, evening, so excited for the new season. Up the Clarets, indeed, up the Clarets. So, last place and the first team set to be relegated from the Championship in my eyes is Rotherham. Now, the only reason why I've gone for Rotherham is because, I mean, they're losing key players like mad. Sheffield Wednesday have bought two of their, obviously, I think they bought a defender and a striker who was their top striker, I believe, last year. So, you know, I just think that the fact that they're rapidly losing players after a promotion to League One clubs is going to be their falter. And I'm sorry to the Chuckle brothers, but their team, unfortunately for me, is going to drop down to League One. As people are saying, Chris says, you mean tapping Merchant Romano? Oh, yeah. And Chris from Leicester to Lad RTV, how are you? He says, can't stop as I have a Premier League show to sort out. They're yours. They're yours. I know he's on the wind up. He loves it. Mark says 500 by the World Cup. You'll get that before the start of the season. Don't set low targets. I just want to be realistic. Chris says Rotherham love to yo-yo between the Championship and League One. 100%. And Mark says Ihekiwe and Smith both gone to Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, a defender and their striker both gone to Sheffield in League One. Chris is back as well. Says 23rd Burnley, don't take their piss. Mela, evening, Dan. I disagree with Rotherham. It will be Reading. Interesting. As I say, get your thoughts in. Get your thoughts in for who you think will be bottom of the division. Joey says as well, so they're going from me to you. Hey, I knew someone would come in. I knew it'd either be you or Leicester Chris, to be fair. And as he says, the Chuckle brothers, there's only one now. There is. There is indeed. To me. And Joey says, Chris, I used to like you. Exactly, Joey. Well said. So, yeah, last position, I think it's going to be Rotherham. Next up on that list, I've gone for Birmingham. You know, I think they've flirted with relegation for God knows how many years now and always stayed up by the skin of their teeth. I think that the way they're going at the moment, they've just sacked Lee Bowyer. So that's another thing that's going to have kicked him while it hurts. And they've not really signed anyone. I'm not, that can all change. That can all change. But you've just lost a manager. Nobody knows the ins and outs of that. So yeah, Birmingham is going to be who I'm gone for in 23rd position. Chris Welch says, "Good man, Dan. Good to be realistic. I know that's hard for Welsh people to be realistic. We get that one in. I like that. My bottom three is Rotherham, Reading, and Birmingham. Interesting indeed. I find it funny how we've sort of got Rotherham and Birmingham in there. Joey's got the popcorn out. He loves it. He loves it. And Chris says, I agree. I've gone Rotherham 24th and Birmingham 23rd. Brilliant. Brilliant. I like to see, I'm glad that we're seeing this emerging pattern. Chris says, enjoy the show and give this guy the support he deserves. Subscribe if you haven't and be sure to smash the likes. Please do drop a like on this video and please do hit that subscription button. As Chris says, thank you very much, Chris, for your support. And people do check out Leicester Till I Die TV. He might be a Leicester fan. He might be an arsehole. But you know what? He's nice in small doses. And the fact that you only have to see him over a YouTube screen, win-win. Mella says, I like Birmingham. They've got Troy Deeney and John Eustace, two Watford legends. Yeah, but that's it. Even you shipped them on because they got to a point where they just didn't fit Watford anymore. And now they've gone to Birmingham where it's sort of, gone to pot. And as Chris says there, catch you all there. But take it easy, Chris, and good luck. Good luck with your Premier League stuff. Matt says, Lee Bowyer has left, hasn't he, because of the owner issue? Yes, he has left. I didn't know exactly why he'd left, but I'm guessing that could be it. Birmingham are a mess top to bottom. Unfortunately, that will transfer onto the pitch. 100%. They are, as I said, they've been flirting with it, with a drop for a long time. And I think this season it's going to be their final curtain call in the Championship. And they're another big club faltering to League One. Chris loves a good winky emoji, does Chris? He's great, to be honest. Shame he's real. Take care, Chris. Take care indeed. And the last one for the relegation spots, I've gone for Hull. I was torn between these and the ones that I've got in 21st. I just think Hull are another team that seem to come up. They seem to lose key players. They seem to drop down. And again, I referenced Sheffield Wednesday. They're after Malik Wilks. It was only, 2 seasons ago, Burnley were after Malik Wilks. And now, you're talking of him dropping down to League One. I don't understand. For me, it's all started with Paul Mullin. Is it Paul Mullin? Yeah, the guy at Wrexham. Top goal scorer in a high division, drops to a non-league club because of this. And you see these big players going and dropping down divisions, even though they've been top goal scorers of the clubs retrospectively. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, and we'll see what happens there. Chris says, mad to think a decade ago Birmingham won the League Cup. Oh, yeah, they did. It is. We've seen it with Wigan as well, though. Wigan have, had their successes and things, and it just goes to show that sometimes it, all that success that you've tried to push forward and achieve, it can bite you in the arse. All it takes is a couple of seasons of, not success, but mediocre seasons. So, Joey says, any news on the Shelbys taking over at Birmingham City FC? Would not surprise me. Small Heath, small club, League One. There. Sum that up for Birmingham. Sorry, Birmingham fans. Do apologise. Doug's in the chat. Good evening, Daniel, he says. Good evening, Doug. And good evening to Rebecca Horn as well, as she will now be known. Congratulations on the wedding. Hope you had a fantastic wedding night and wedding day. The ceremony was great. And obviously, my congratulations and wholehearted respect goes out to you and Rebecca. And long may you have a happy life together. So congratulations, Doug, on your wedding day yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, it was yesterday, wasn't it? So congratulations again. Chris says, oh, wow. Mark says, Hull have new owners. They will be top 10. Fair play, fair play. As I say, it is all about, predictions. They're all just being predicted. Hull have new owners, they'll be top 10. So we'll see. Sometimes you can get new owners and it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. We'll have to go for it. Chris says, I've gone for Reading in 22nd. Interesting. Joey's put laughing emojis. Chris says, congratulations, Doug. Hope you had a lovely day. Mella's gone 22nd Cardiff. Bold prediction. Mark says, congrats to Doug. And Doug says there as well, thanks, guys. Was the perfect day. Looking forward to Greece on Tuesday. I said that it's a Sunday. You should have been walking up with a nice greasy fry up after a day on the piss on your wedding night. You need a greasy fry up. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time in Greece anyway. And as I say, many happy returns. Chris Welch says, you're entitled to your opinion. That's what it is. It's just an opinion. So we'll see. Mark agrees with you, Mello, there. Hope that Cardiff, I'm sure that's what it's abbreviated to, would go down. I'm sure he'd love that. And Kate says, yeah, hope you had a beautiful day and it was everything you dreamed of and more, Doug. Love a good wedding. She does. It be us at some point. But we'll see. Next up then, just narrowly missing out on the drop, I've gone for Millwall. Now, Millwall get lucky. They get a lot of loans from Premier League clubs. I mean, in recent years, we've seen them with Troy Parrott, and it's, I don't know. There's something about Millwall. They seem to linger in the league. They just linger there. So I thought they'll just stay up, but potentially next season could drop. As I say, this is all strange to me. After being a Premier League club for 6.5 seasons, if not 7 years, we are. It's sort of an alien league now because we don't know how these teams are performing. Millwall could be, we saw Luton last season in the playoffs. Nobody expected Luton to be punching above their weight. So I don't know. As I say, it's an opinion. It is all an opinion. That's Kate's comment from last. Joy says opinions are like arseholes. Everyone has one. I won't say names. Mark says time is ticking, Daniel. Kate's waiting. I know. Don't worry. I've already done the drop to one knee. The engagement rings on the finger. But yeah, it is what it is. Mark says Millwall 13th. Chris says I've gone with 18th for Millwall. They always seem to be stable mid-table team, but how long can that continue? Again, pretty much what I just said. Mella 21st, Birmingham. Mark says Millwall, to be fair, nearly got playoffs. They did. As I say, it's all alien. It'll be us at some point, but we will see. Sounds promising, does that? Not asked for a wedding. I'll just enjoy being a guest that those are getting invited to. Oh, God, I'm getting my arse handed to me here, guys. I'm getting a coating. He's getting a coating. And Chris says, I went for 12th when the comic finally comes up. I went for 12th for Hull due to new owners for me. Fair play. But yeah, we've got Millwall in 21st. Sat in 20th, I've gone for Blackpool. Again, a team that now back in the Championship. Just reading Chris's comment there. There's a difference with nearly and actually getting playoffs, Mark. 100%. We won't get married. Cut that shit out, right? We'll talk about that afterwards. Blackpool in 20th. No offence to any Blackpool fans out there. I do think that this year is a season of consolidation. You're still staying in the division. You're not dropping down to League One. Another club, a little bit like Rotherham in recent years, that have sort of gone from League One Championship, League One Championship. But I think you will stay up. So for me, I've gone Blackpool in 18th. 20th, sorry. That's because of 18th earlier. I agree. 20th Blackpool. Neil Critchley's gone. Well, they've got Michael Appleton now. So obviously, as you say, with Critchley gone, it's going to be very, very different because it's his second stint there as well, isn't it? It's Appleton's second stint at Blackpool, and we've seen with managers like David Moyes, who had a second stint at West Ham. He wasn't pretty well received the first time. So is it going to go right a second time? Who knows? Who knows what comes around? Nothing to talk about. Right, fair enough. Joey says donkey lashes can't ride a wave. um, I get you. I get you. Right, I get you. I get where it's coming from now. But yeah, hope you are well, Zoe. Hope you're well, Joey, and Zoe. Look at that. That's it's just match made in heaven. I went 21st for Blackpool. Losing Neil Critchley to Aston Villa is a big miss. It is. It's going to be a bit of a shock for Blackpool. I mean, it was probably when they lost Critchley because of the fact that he's gone from being a first team manager to wanting to wallow away under Gerrard's wing at Aston Villa. Okay, his pay may have been better. He may have had more assurances in his job than the board at Blackpool. But it's a very sour one for Blackpool fans, to be fair. And let's see what happens. Ouch, Dan. What have you just done, Mark? Have you dropped the soap again in prison? I told you can't keep doing that. Can't keep doing that. So it's Zoe talking on Joey's account because he's at the shop. Right. See, I'm getting it. Chris says, when I hear Michael Appleton, I feel underwhelmed. I feel he's blind, leading the blind like a few managers. Yes. He's another one, a bit like Paul Ince, sort of been around the managerial mill, and he hasn't found a club that it's worked out at. He had Blackburn as a job as well. Obviously, he's gotten back for a second stint at Blackpool. Who knows? But I think, again, Blackpool will stay up by the skin of their teeth. He knows why, Matt. Don't worry. To clarify, there is no drama. Also, second season syndrome could strike Blackpool in the Championship. Yes, it could. It could indeed. So we'll do a Robbie Williams. We'll sit and wait and see what happens there. And as she says, finally, the penny has dropped. Here he is, the man that sports any team in red. Anthony Herbert's in the chat. He says, "Hi Dan, big up mate. Have them all. Have that. Same as Chris. No moles over here. Don't you worry about it." The missus says, "I'm intrigued to see where you put Burnley on your predictions. Stay tuned to find out." Next up, then, we drop out of the 20s and into 19th position. And we have gone for Coventry. Now, I'm going to do a kit video, and I think some of the kits that Coventry have done this season are quite cool. So I'm not going to say anything too much, but I do quite like Coventry's kits this season. However, a kit doesn't define how well you're going to do in the season, does it? And Coventry's season relies on them keeping players like Callum O'Hare, Victor Gyorekes, I think he's called. And if they can keep hold of those sort of players, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But for me, I just think Coventry may lose them. There's still time in the window, so we will see. Mella says, totally disagree. 19th, Wigan. Interesting. Zoe says that West Brom's kit is the best so far. To be fair, I think I only saw that the other day. Yeah, that's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Chris says as well, I agree, Blackpool will stay up, skin of their teeth, as Reading and Birmingham have problems at their clubs. Not a bad shout. And Anthony says Burnley to finish third. Take that. I'll take that. Coventry in 19th, and then in 18th, we have Reading. I just think if they can keep hold of Lucas Yao, which, to be fair, it is rumoured that he's probably going to be off somewhere, I do think, again, that they could be in trouble. They really could be. But I don't know. As I said, it's an alien league to us that have been in the Premier League for a stint, and that's not trying to rub anything in, because I'm now fully aware that we are a Championship club. You know, I only have to go back 2 seasons. We're playing Preston in friendlies when it's always been a derby. Now we're going to be playing the derbies again against them. It's going to be interesting. Chris says, I've gone for 15th with Coventry. They're a joy to watch for me. Mark Robins done a remarkable job since been there. Promotions in League Two and League One. Yeah, he has. He has. He's found his place as Mark Robins at Coventry, and it seems to work. As I say, for me, it hinges on keeping those key players. And I know Burnley are linked with, they were linked with their striker at one point last year. Probably not now, but we are linked obviously with Callum O'Hare as well. O'Hara, I think it's Callum O'Hara. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We will see. Kate says, I'll be surprised if they don't finish in the top 5. I'm guessing you mean Burnley, I'm guessing. And Mella says, 18th, Sunderland. Nothing special yet. Interesting. See, I'm torn with Sunderland. But I don't know. I think it's just the fact that because they feel like they are a massive club, which they are in terms of where they've been. I know full well that they'll want to push higher and higher. Whether they can achieve that is a massive question. But we'll see. We'll see when we get to their position. And Burnley finish automatic or no point playing. Well, I'm not even going to say what I think. I'll let this tell the story. So 18th, Reading. Next on the list, I've gone for Preston. 17th, Preston for me. Their heyday of trying to get to the Premier League is long gone. It's long gone. They've had their chance when they had the likes of Ricardo Fuller, Richard Cresswell, John Parkins, Simon Whaley, Sean St. Ledger. They had all these players that sort of could have helped them. You know, Keith Tracy, Ross Wallace. They've had all these decent players, and they've always sort of been flirting with the playoffs over the last, probably, well, not for a good few years now, but they did have a good stint in the playoffs, and they always crumbled at the final hurdle, and it never worked out for them. I honestly wanted a Burnley-Preston playoff final when we went up against Sheffield United, but Preston obviously suffered, and you know, they've not been the same animal. But 17th for Preston, I thought that was respective. I'm not pulling up any, you know, I'm not putting them down there because they're a rival. I've tried to keep it realistic, or what I thought would be realistic. But yeah, Preston in 17th. Anthony says, I want to know where Bristol City's going to finish. Well, you'll find out on soon enough. Mella says 17th, Blackburn. I mean, they're another team. New manager. Let's see what happens there. Can they keep hold of Dak, Brereton Diaz, the fake Chilean? Who knows? Kate says yes, I'm guessing regarding Burnley. Carl says Preston, I agree. 17th, Bastards 16th. I would love that. Anthony says, Dan, we signed Luton's best player last season. He helped them to the playoff final. Yet you've also lost Casey Palmer as well, haven't you? I think he's gone to Coventry, if I'm not mistaken. So you've lost a midfielder there as well. So, you know, it's all depends what happens. We don't know what's going to happen from one season to the next. Injuries galore for clubs. It's we all don't know what's going to happen. Seasons are so unpredictable. Massively agree on Preston. That's where they normally are anyway, in my opinion. Fair shout, Chris. Joey says P&E have bottled it for the last millennium. Shame they're in Blackpool's shadow. Joey trying to get himself in there with the Blackpool fans. Oh, Zoe, you know what? I'll take it that he's back since there's no Zoe on the ends. Talks in the chat. He says, evening, Dan. I hope you're well, Talk. Please do go check out Talk's channel. He does a charity channel called Football versus Cancer. It's a brilliant channel. Please do go check it out and show it some support. As I say, it is for charity. So hit the subscribe button on Talk's channel, Football versus Cancer, and show Talk your support. Joey says as well there, Ben 10's name is off to the nearest bidder from Texas Hold'ems. Wouldn't surprise me. And Palmer gone to Coventry. He couldn't get in the squad. He's very injury prone though, isn't he? if I'm not mistaken. I think he's quite injury prone. He's on FIFA, so I'm just, I'm going off that. And Talk says, thanks, Dan. Not a problem, not a problem at all. Obviously, it's nice to showcase some of these, charity videos and things that are done to help raise awareness for certain things. So please, as I say, do go check out Talk's channel. Fantastic. So in 16th, we have Wigan. Now, I've gone for Wigan as sort of a surprise package that they aren't gonna be ripping up the roots, but they're gonna do well. I think they are gonna do well. And as Anthony says there regarding Casey Palmer, he is always injured. So yeah, I've gone for Wigan. Interesting, because I didn't know. To be fair, I wish I'd have potentially swapped them. And who was it? I think it were. Oh, I haven't a clue. Can't remember who it were. But yeah, I'd have swapped them with someone a little bit lower down. But Wigan again aren't a bad side. And Joey says there, put them a place higher because of the Wigan kebab. They deserve it. Now, I've not had a Wigan kebab. Not from Wigan anyway. I've tried to make one at home. Whether it's the same, I don't know. There's smack barn pea wet. A few things I still need to try. Chris says, I've gone for Wigan in 14th. They have no pressure on them with them being back in the Championship, and they've got a good squad. Yeah, they have. And if they can keep on a Will Keane, who's starting to find form, because he's been another player that's been around the mill with clubs, and it's never seemed to work out with him. He's been at Ipswich. He's been on loan from United at numerous other places. But he was released from Ipswich. He's gone to Wigan, and he did pretty well last season. So fingers crossed he can obviously keep that up in the Championship when it comes to facing Burnley. I hope he has a fucking stinker. But other than that, yeah, Wigan in 16th for me. Joey says, if you've been farm food, she's made a Wigan kebab. Fair shout. In 15th then, there you go. There you go, Anthony. I have put Bristol City in 15th. I just don't think they're going to be ripping anything up. I really don't. Again, they're a team that I only sort of know of Bristol City a bit more due to you, Anthony, in the chat. Not a team that I've followed, obviously. I mean, some of the players at Bristol City that you've had, or still got, sorry. You've got Andreas Varman. As I say, you did have Casey Palmer. I think you've got a young keeper there as well. Called Brad something or other. I can't remember his Brad Collins. Is it Brad Collins? I might be mistaken. I think he may potentially be at Barnsley. I'm not sure. Someone beginning with B anyway. But Talk says, hi, Chris. Long time no speak. Mella says 16th Stoke. They lack creativity on the grass. Yeah, I can understand that. Chris says as well there, Will Keane smashed League One up last season. Yes, he did. And fingers crossed Wigan will be hoping that he can do that again. Anthony says, only 11 likes, but let's get more. It's a good stream, this turf. Morehouse. It's Morehouse. Not Small House, you little shit. But yeah, Mella says 15th, Hull. As I say, it's all about opinions. 15th, Bristol. Are you happy with that, Anthony? Are you happy with 15th? As he says there, already answered it. Yeah, I reckon about 12th to 15th. So if he's happy with that, I'm happy with what I've gone for. Chris says, I actually think 20th for Bristol City. In my opinion, I like Nigel Pearson. He's no nonsense manager, but he's becoming stale as out of date part of milk. Don't see anything changing from last season, in my opinion. Interesting, Chris. Interesting. Say he's a bit of an ostrich, isn't he? Sorry, that's just a quote from his Leicester days. Are you an ostrich? But yeah, 12th to 15th. If Anthony's happy with that, I'm happy with that. Next on the list, 14th, QPR. Again, another team I think I should have potentially put a little bit lower. They've lost Charlie Austin. They've lost some of the loan players. Andre Gray has, I was going to say gone back to Watford, but he hasn't. He's now just signed for a team in Greece, Thessalonica, I think, who qualified for European football out there. So he's off there as of today. Charlie Austin signed for Brisbane Roar in the A-League. So where are QPR's goals going to come from? I mean, I know they've still got the likes of Elias Chair, another player who I think is fantastic, absolutely brilliant player. I'd love to see him at Burnley, Elias Chair, but I'm sure he'll get a Premier League move, if not someone that's very decent in the Championship this season. I'm really surprised he's not left QPR. Mella says 14th for Bristol, so only a point out, only a position out. Sorry, but I'll take that. I mean, what's everyone's thoughts for 14th? We're about comfortably mid-table. So at this moment, would you be happy with if your club was currently sat there? I mean, Chris, I'm sure you would. I'm sure you'd love Carlisle to be 14th in the Championship. But I can see why Mellor's watching. Mellor's watching. See, where have I put Watford? Chris says, I think 8th for QPR last season. They were in the playoffs at one point, then dropped off. They've got a good enough squad and capable, in my opinion. Michael Beale, risky appointment though. Yeah, interesting again. Very interesting. As I said, we are yet to see what these managers can bring. Same with ourselves at Burnley. We don't know what Vincent Kompany is going to do. Is it going to be very similar to Dash and sort of this 4-4-2 and things like that, or is it going to be a 4-4-2 but with an attacking intent? So there's a lot of new managers. The Blackburn manager's a brand new manager. The Watford manager, who obviously was poached from Forest Green, and well, the many Watford managers still to come this season as well. Sorry, Mella, cheap dig. Anthony says he thinks higher than that, obviously for Bristol from 20th, and Chris at Carlisle United and Championship. I'll go live a lion and a witch. Who knows, mate? One day, and then the alarm clock goes off, and you realise you've got work. Sorry. Next on the list, 13th. Unlucky for some, very lucky for Blackburn. I think they will lose Diaz. I think they will lose Brereton Diaz. Ben Brereton. I'm just going to call him Ben Brereton. He's not Ben Brereton Diaz. What? Because his grandma lived in Chile for a good couple of years. That means he's Chilean. Jesus Christ! I don't know how football works these days. As I said, fake Chilean. He'll get a move after having a successful one last term. Bradley Dack is very, very injury prone. Blackburn have lost their main key defender in Dara Lenihan as well to Middlesbrough. So to lose such a big player at the back like that to a Championship rival as well, in terms of obviously not actual rival, but someone that you're going to contest with in the coming season, must be a bit of a blow for Blackburn and for the new manager. So Blackburn in 13th. Don't really want to talk about them too much. But yeah, where they belong. Exactly. These managers with lack of experience can go two ways, good or bad, 100%. Mella says 13th Preston, just a bang average team. Yeah, I don't see why not. Anthony says, Dan, I see Kompany on YouTube with his half-time chat and let the team. I don't think he takes any shit. No, and I don't think he will either. I think that's why he wants sort of a young setup. He had that young setup at Anderlecht as well, and it worked for him. You had the likes of a young Josh Cullen, who, again, another player Burnley have been linked with. Most of the Anderlecht squad were very, very young, still early 20s, still trying to learn their way. And they went from battling down the bottom of the division to, I think, finishing third in his last season. So, yeah, we'll see. See what happens. Chris says, I knew you would put Blackburn 13th. With that, saying unlucky for some, I've gone with 10th, obviously, depending on Diaz. Yeah, it is. Blackburn have heavily relied on strikers. Sam Gallagher's still there, but he's not been ripping it up. They had Adam Armstrong. He went to Southampton, has not done anything. So, yeah, 13th for Blackburn. And Chris, just to upset the apple cart, Blackburn promoted, Burnley relegated. You heard it here first. Yeah. Yeah, okay then. Okay then. And Talk says, yo, cuz. Hi, Chris. Yeah, so Talk and Chris saying hello to each other. But yeah, 13th for the dirty inbreds down the M65. Next on the list, Cardiff. I've put Cardiff in 12th. Now, again, no disrespect to Cardiff. I just think I know you do, Chris. Sorry, I know you. I know you. I know you used to work for them, but means nothing. Means nothing. I used to work. I used to work for Silent Night. Doesn't mean I'm going to work. I'm going to make sure that all my mattresses are from there. Although the majority probably all are, because that's all the pissing make. So it's all good. High talk. Everyone having a lovely conversation in the chat. But yeah, Cardiff in 12th. Are you happy with that, Mark? Or is 12 too high for them? Would you rather see them drop a little bit lower than that? Throat's going just after wet the whistle. Oh, that's belting. It's nearly cold and all. But yeah, 12th position for Cardiff. Chris says you're just a bus stop next to Blackburn. Right, okay then. Okay then. I don't even have to say anything because obviously Forest got promoted, they beat you in the cup, and then they'll be open to do the double over you again next season. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Chris, I've gone with 11th for Cardiff. Expect them to have a better season than last season. See, again, Chris, very like for like, in some of the predictions that we've gone for. Mark says 12th too high. They'll have a bus parade for that. And Anthony says Cardiff a bit high. Well, there you have it. 12th position, Cardiff City. 11th. Oh, sorry, I've gone the wrong way. Next up, 11th, Stoke. Again, another team. I looked at it. I kept looking at it when I'd made these predictions, and I was thinking some of these teams that I'd change, that I would change into different positions, put them a little bit lower. Pardon me. Potentially swap Stoke and Reading around, and not Reading, Stoke and QPR around. But yeah, you don't know what's going to happen with these teams. Stoke have been I thought they'd have gone back up at the first time of asking when they first dropped, and they didn't. They lost a lot of players at the time. They had a lot of old players in the squad as well, though. So, I think Stoke are still in a process of trying to, get themselves back to where that. I think they're decent. I do think they're a good club. I'm looking forward to Stoke away. It's always a good away day, Stoke away. But yeah, 11th position. I just think it's about right for where Stoke would be. Chris says, at least we will lose in the top flight, not in the sloppy second division. And then Nathan Collins to Leicester. He wants good football. Right. Regarding Burnley players and these moves, now we've seen Tarkowski announced as an Everton player. We've seen all our players linked with moves to other clubs. But throughout the Premier League season, all we kept hearing was shit club, relegate them. They don't belong in the Premier League. Fucking hoofball, anti-football. It's not needed. It's not respectful enough. And then as soon as we drop, it's like, ho, Kone, McNeil, Tarkowski, Ben Mee, Nathan Collins. Let's rhyme all these players off that we can just steal from Burnley Football Club, who was so shit you wanted relegated and wanted out. You know what? Fuck the lot of you, because it pisses me off how people slander Burnley to shit, and then they like literally come raiding the club. So yeah, does Mark Tweeding does that? Really, really does. Chris says, I've gone for Stoke in 9th. Very inconsistent for me, but I expect them to be top half. Interesting. Phil says 30 mil is yours. Don't think any less to Chris. Yeah, you will have to pay big money for him. He's on a long contract with us. Paul Holt's in as well. How you doing, Big Paul? Big P, he's in the house. He says, there's a lot of folk getting carried away. In and around the top 6 by Christmas would be a decent start. I agree. I agree. It would be. It would be. I'm not going to say where I've put Burnley, but I do think that it's it's a respectable position for a first season back. That's all. That's all I will say. And you're right. You're right. We are in a transitional period, and we are going to have to find a rhythm under a new manager and see what happens. Anthony says, Dan, if you go to Ashton Gate, it's a nice stadium, £5.50 a pound. I don't expect anything more with those southern prices. Bus stop. Yeah, all right then. Exactly, Dan. Bunch of flip-flops. Like Phil said there, yeah, Nathan Collins has got 4 years to run. Carl says there, well said, pal. Come on. Exactly. Chris says, my wooden spoon is just broken, so time for me to go. Big up, Dan. See you tomorrow. Yeah, you will see me on Leicester Till I Die TV tomorrow. Obviously, giving my thoughts on Group E of the World Cup at 9 p.m. So do meet me over there to just hear me chat shit about Spain, Germany, Costa Rica, and the other one. Paul says, hiya, mate. Up the Clarets. Up the Clarets, my friend. Up the Clarets. Can I just say as well that obviously while we're here, in fact, I'll mention it at the end, actually. I'll mention it at the end. But I want to pass on my condolences as well. John's in. What's happening, you big cheating bastard, you? Big up, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you are well, John. Thank you for tuning in, and hope you're well. Kate says, to think we got a beer and a gin and a lemonade. A beer and a gin and lemonade for a £5 yesterday. Exactly. That's what I mean. Northern prices. There goes Kate with a pure Yorkshire twang. How much? The Yorkshire war cry. How much? Turn that heating off. Evening, by the way, Dan. Hope you're well, Phil. Nice having a quick chat with you in Tesco's the other week. But hope you're well, mate. All the same. Chris says, how's your Costa Rica knowledge, lol, and not Costa coffee? Well, you will find out tomorrow, Chris. You will find out tomorrow. Obviously, very clued up. You know, a bit like Brad with North Macedonia. Costa Rica, they're me go-to. Not. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Next up then, from 11th to 10th, we have the Borough, Middlesbrough, making their way up into 10th position. As I said earlier, they acquired Blackburn's best defender last season in Dara Lenihan. I think they're after I think the closest signing Zach Steffen on loan from Manchester City as well. Young goalkeeper who'd be very, very good at Championship level. I wouldn't have minded Burnley going for him instead of what's it called, Originate Muric, because the Forest fans that I've spoken to have said, don't. He's got a blunder in him. He's got too many blunders in him. But maybe he just needs a run of games. We'll see. I'm trying to be positive about any signing that walks through the door at Burnley Football Club. Kate says, no Yorkshire twang from this Lancashire raised since Belfast. Well, you left the womb in Yorkshire, you came home, back to Lancashire. That's when you could breathe properly. When the air wasn't polluted and full of shit. When you could actually, breathe. You didn't need a dummy because everything was calm. God's own back garden. Fuck Yorkshire. But yeah, 10th position for Borough. I mean, is anybody happy with that? I mean, the Clarets page says, I think Borough will be top 2. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Who's the man? Is it still Chris Wilder, isn't it? Still Chris Wilder. I do think Borough, I don't know why. Again, as I say, it's an alien division for me. I've just sort of not been watching the Championship while we've been in the Prem. I used to always cast an eye. I think the season that we actually went up, I actually casted an eye over it for a good season or two, and then I thought, oh, we're sort of here and become a bit of an ever-present. Don't need to worry about that division. But yeah, they're very good. They are very could do. Chris says, I went for 5th for Borough, got well-experienced manager in Wilder. I expect them to be in the playoffs. But again, to our opinions, 100% agree. And as Phil says there, I think Borough playoff mate at least. And Paul says, I think Borough will finish 6th to 10th. I think when I was doing this one with Borough, it was a case of I can't put them above Burnley because from a fan perspective, Borough fans and Burnley fans don't get on. When it's on the pitch, the game's fine, but Borough fans and Burnley fans don't like each other. And yeah, I just for some reason thought, nah, you can sit and wallow. Sorry, Chris Wilder. I do apologise, but if you do make the playoffs, it's like Chris says there. It is a very competitive division, and what can I say? You know, teams are going to lose players. Teams are going to buy players. You're going to get these surprise big name signings that come to the Championship. You're going to get these loan players that make the move. It's going to be an interesting window because obviously there's a World Cup slap bang right in the middle of it. So, and injuries galore could happen. Injuries galore. These players that we are going to lose to the World Cup, you could be losing key players that sort of dent your chances because I think the Championship comes back a week before the World Cup ends. So, as I say, it's going to be interesting. As Chris says there, I'm judging it on them making signings. Pardon me. Which I expect them to do. Obviously, if they don't, then it changes. Fair shout. So into the top 10 then. Into the top 10 now. And I've gone for Luton in 9th. I just think they'll be very happy with the position that they finished in last season. They'll want to try and do that again. Although, you know, we saw with Barnsley. We saw with Barnsley last season, they fell through the trapdoor to League One. The season before, you know, under is it Valeria Ishmael or something he were called? You know, he got them to the playoffs. The season after, they dropped down the trapdoor to League One. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen for Luton. I was hoping either Luton or Huddersfield got promoted last season. I just think that Luton have released a good couple of players this season and obviously need to buy some interesting players. They do it pretty well, Luton. They sort of sign these players that you don't think will be able to, you know, reach the hearts of Championship football, and they go and do it. A bit like Huddersfield with Sober Thomas when they signed him from, you know, the champ from non-league, and he ended up being an absolute stalwart for them last season. But yeah, Luton, I think, is an interesting one, a very, very interesting one. Chris says, I haven't mentioned my controversial predictions yet. Oh, interesting. Paul says, when Borough last went up and then were belittling us for signing Pope and they had some fancy Dan expensive. Yeah, exactly. I remember the meme like it was only yesterday. It was a picture of Dash sort of like side-eyeing like and saying when Burnley signed a relegated goalkeeper or something like that in Pope from Charlton Athletic, and we signed Victor Valdez from like Barcelona. Where did that get you, Borough? Where did that get you? Nowhere at all. Phil says 10th of December, Championship restarts. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I think it's about a week or two before the actual World Cup officially ends. So, you know, players may still be out there if they are in, you know, if they get called up for their respective nations and if they are still in the tournament. But I think it'll be the business end by that point, won't it, in the World Cup. Again, another farce, this World Cup. A Winter World Cup in Qatar. All because of that. Chris Welch says, I've gone 19th for Luton. I think they will massively drop off after having such a remarkable overachieving season last season. There he is. He's gone for his controversial prediction. And as he says there, I have now. That's interesting because it goes pretty much hand in hand with what I said about Barnsley. You know, they had that success and then they faltered, hit the trap door and went. So, it'll be interesting season for Luton. So, as I say, only looking and basing this off last season and trying to think about signings and who's made what. That's why I've sort of gone for with this. Joey says Victor Valdez has won more than us. Yeah, I do agree. Victor Valdez has won a lot, but he won nothing at Borough. Absolutely nothing. I think he wanted out. Yeah, exactly that Paul said. He got a relegation medal that year. That's it. That's it. I'm sure he's happy. I'm sure he's happy with that. Anthony says 17th of September, we're away to Burnley. He means Bristol City, out of one of his many teams he supports. Then we've got you at the home game before the last game of the season. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. If you do come up to Burnley, I'll say get in touch with me. We'll meet up and stuff. It'll be good. But yeah, I'm sure. Fingers crossed. I'll hopefully get down to Bristol and we can have a drink and meet up. That'll be cracking. Joey says I agree with Chris. And Chris says, yeah, I think it'll be similar to Barnsley, but obviously not get relegated. Fair shout. Fair shout. In 8th, then. Do not slate me, Burnley fans. Do not slate me. Do not leave. Please, as I say, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've tried to be realistic as possible. That's what I'm going to say on this. How do I word this? I think this season is going to be a learning curve for us. It's going to be an interesting learning curve. Some of the comments, Joey says, don't be looking at away to Burnley. It's a fruitless venture. Paul says, ooh, exactly. Chris says, that's Dan losing all his Burnley subs. I hope not. I've tried, as I say, I want it to make it realistic. See ya. Phil says, with all the new faces, I agree. Yeah, there's a bedding in period. Joey says, liar. Champions elect. HMS pissed the league. He's got them all in. Mark says, Burnley 10th for me. Oof. I mean, I'd be happy with us finishing top 10 in our first season back in the Championship, especially when we've lost a bulk of massive players. Nobody expects to lose sort of the heartbeat of the squad in Pope, me, Tarkowski, that have sort of been so resolute over the years. But we've got this new era at Burnley Football Club. Our first foreign manager in history. We're starting to buy young players that are going to grow and develop, and it's whether they will get into that. I don't want us. Another reason I put us 8th is because I don't want us to get into the playoffs and lose, because it would kill us. It'd kill us. Although it may spur us on as players to go on and obviously win it the season after. Who knows? But I wouldn't want that. Anthony says, "Fucking hell, am I seeing things?" And Joey says, "We will do it." The Claret says, "I think we'll get top 6, but I agree we'll have to adjust." It is all an adjusting period. These players, Scott Twan, shit up last season for MK Dons in League One, but the Championship is a whole new level. It is a whole new level. And whether these players like him, Luke McNally from Oxford, is he going to make the jump? CJ Egan Riley, Taylor Harwood Bellis. We need these players to fit and, get into a position that will potentially, help us grow into that team. I think a season like this, 8th position is, I'd be very happy with, as long as the season after we push for more than that. But for this first season, 8th for me, I thought was realistic. Paul says there, Clarets will be between 2nd or 8th. Slow start and really strong next year. Anything before is a pure bonus. I agree. I totally agree. Chris says, I think it's hard to predict Burnley. I put them 4th and playoff runners up. I get the feeling Company will do well. I know I said I was worried for you weeks ago. You sorted half the problems out. We have, and it is a very, very, very difficult league to get out of. Joey says, if we don't make playoffs, we've not had a good season. We've not lost a player yet that wasn't expected. Well, I see what you're saying. Dan's losing all his subs. Wouldn't surprise me. Hope not, but I do think you will have a slow start. We always have a slow start, no matter what manager. It's always been a slow start and then have a blast second half of the season. Seems to be the story of Burnley Football Club, does that. Anthony says the Championship is a hard league to get out of. Fact, yeah, totally agree with what he says there. Joey says Ben 10 names made the step up to Championship. If he can, I can, and you've seen me play. Oh, mate, you make Robbie Brady look like Lionel Messi. because if we kept calling him glass ankles, then obviously you, my friend, don't know, melted plastic on a hot day. Phil says, tell how Bells has played in the Championship before for Bastards and Stoke. Yeah, I agree. But does he fit into the system? I mean, okay, yes, he's played under Company before at Anderlecht the first half of last year, but he's with some different players. He's with some different players now, and as I say, it's all about adjusting into the squad. Rene's in the chat. He says, "Hey Dan, how are you? I'm well, Rene. Hope you are well as well." Joey says, "All the joking, pal. Your class. Thank you very much. Means a lot. Means a lot." Carl says, "I think we'll have a tough start, but we'll go on a 24 undefeated streak." I will take that in a heartbeat, Carl. I would take that all in a heartbeat. Championship is hard league to get out of. Norwich, Watford, Fulham say, "Hold my beer." Well, yeah, but that's it though. I think they'd be screwed if it wasn't for parachute payments. I think they'd be screwed. I mean, for us, okay, yes, we've got parachute payments since coming down, but we have had to sell to sort of bring in these younger players to facilitate in the squad. Joey says, "I serve a purpose," and as Paul says there, Joey, blacky ankle slack. Oh, Paul, I'll give you that. I like that. I do like that indeed. Anthony says, "Is our ex-player still at yours?" Josh Brownhill, he is at the moment. I hope we don't lose him. I'd rather us lose Ashley Westwood than lose Josh Brownhill. He's absolutely class. So, and I think he'll be fine. I just hope that he doesn't leave us. Really do. Chris says, "I agree on adjusting. Norwich and Fulham make it look easy." Yeah, well, Mitrovic does, and then he gets to the Premier League and he just his arse falls out. I mean, how many players have we seen do that? We saw what were he called at Swansea? Michu, one season wonder. Amiyazaki at Wigan, one season wonder. Paul Holt, there he is again, laughing emojis. Love it. I love that. Joey Placky ankle slack. That's quality. Rene, do you see selling your players to us? No. Chris has already said about Nathan Collins. Keep your hands off. We want him to stay. We don't want to lose him. We want him to stay. And that's how it will be, I hope, at the end of the transfer window. Norwich, Watford, Fulham do take advantage of it, though. Others haven't and been stuck in the Championship. Derby, though. Look at Derby. They kept throwing money at it. Throwing money at the division. And where did it take them? League One, administration nearly. And if they did, it's only due to them finding a buyer recently that they've got themselves out the shit. So, it's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It just goes to show that even if you do throw money at it, you're not always guaranteed what you want. And make relegation look easier. Yeah, exactly. Joey says, "I had Brownhill as captain next season. Class player and vital to keep, in my opinion." Totally agree. I think either him or Collins should be, could be. I know Jack Coke could be in for a shout. For the captaincy. Again, all information still to come out of the club, same as kits, the squad numbers, etc. But as Burnley fans, we play the waiting game. I'm sure they'll start selling kits by Christmas at some point anyway. Chris says, if it was an analogy, Mitrovic in the Championship is like being too good on a date with Gemma Collins, but then too bad on a date with Michelle Keegan. Yes, Chris as well. I'll give you that one. You can have one of them as well. Anthony says, "Just said to my son, what do you think of Burnley?" He said, "Shit," and he's only 7. He knows his football. Well, I can't say he knows much football. He's probably, the bottle that he's on already is probably like cider or something. Probably on a bottle of Scrumpy or something. And he says, "Are you happy when Rooney got sacked for Derby?" Yeah, I couldn't have cared less. I don't think he got sacked. He stepped away, didn't he? I think he stepped away. Joey says, "Coke because of age only, though." Yeah, and I hope he's going to be an ever-present as well, because obviously we saw Coke and Brownhill together last season. Worked a lot more than Brownhill and Westwood. And Chris says, last comment before we move on to the top 7. At Norwich, Watford, Fulham have squads too good for the Championship, but awful for the Premier League. I agree. And as Matt says, he walked away, Rennie. Yes, he did. So next on the list then, we have in 7th place. Do not slate me for this. Do not slate me for this. I just have a feeling that with Sunderland, it could go 2 ways. It could go 2 ways. Sunderland could be that club that have back-to-back promotions. They could be that club that sort of just misses out. They could be the club that gets relegated. All depends on what Sunderland do for me. Joey says, and never deny your child education. But yeah, 7th position. I think they will try and push for back-to-back. I think Alex Neil's done a remarkable job at Sunderland. He's done pretty well. They are a big club that have been in League One for a good number of seasons. Another away day that's class, to be fair, Sunderland away. Although I think we played them in the Cup 2 seasons ago, drew 0-0. That what a shocking game that were. But a good ground to go to. One that I was glad to tick off the list while I could. But now they're back in the Championship. I could go again. Happy days. Rene says, we've got Derby in a pre-season friendly game. I don't get that, how it can be a pre-season friendly against Derby. It's one of your rivals. It's similar when we started playing Preston. I was a bit like, interesting. Chris says, Rooney not deserving another job. He ain't entitled to another job, in my opinion. He only got that Derby job on the basis that he was bought by the sponsorship. So, I'm sure he will. And I think, for what he did for Derby as well, the fact that he bailed them out the ship with his own money, I don't understand why he's being, questioned for that, to be fair. It just goes to show the integrity of the guy. Even if he did get knocked out by Phil Bardsley, to be fair. But, we'll see what happens. I'm sure Rooney will find another club. I don't know. Birmingham, perhaps. Who knows? Joey says, how pissed were you when you made these predictions? Yeah, as I say, it could go either way for them. Really could. After 4 years in League One, they'll need severe investment in the squad. They will. I mean, they've just signed the lad that we were going to sign, apparently, Dan Ballard from Arsenal. He was linked to pretty much already be through the door, confirmed and everything. But then next minute, there's reports that he's not agreed terms, and Sunderland obviously are willing to match what he wants and pay what he wants. So whether they get any more in, I mean, Patrick Roberts is a fantastic player as well. If he performs as good as he can, another key player for Sunderland. But yeah, this is my surprise package, really. Sunderland, whether they do it or not, it's a tough one. Chris says, I went 13th for Sunderland, got the right manager for this league. Alex Neil knows this league. He's got out of it, but I think mid-table for Sunderland, which will still be a good season back in the Championship. Yeah, again, like I said with Burnley, to be fair, consolidating in the league and then building on that, you've got to be happy with that. Of course you have. Rennie says, facing against Tom Lawrence, I'm guessing. Anthony says, I'm clipping this and I'll play it back at the end of the season, Dan, to see if you're right with any of your predictions. You don't need to. I'm going to review them at the end of the season. And I know full well, potentially this could be wrong. And I'm sure I'll be eating my hat with a lot of them, like I did with the Premier League one. Although I didn't look back at that. I was too bitter after being relegated. Although I did get Watford, Norwich being relegated correct and Man City winning the league. So I'll take that. Paul says he likes Derby, high percentage of old grannies. And Rene says, yeah, Tom Lawrence. Mark says, Blunderland 16th. Oof. Mark's called it. Big mass drop from 7th for Sunderland. Next up then, making the playoffs in 6th. I've gone for Swansea City. If their squad can stay injury free, I think Swansea will have a relatively good season. I think is it Pirro they've got up front. I think he's a quality player. Absolutely quality player. And if he can, again, rip up the Championship like he did last season with his goals, Swansea won't be far off from the playoffs. Swansea are another team that, okay, they've had success in the Premier League, under Roberto Martinez and things like that. But, who's to say that they can't make the playoffs? As I say here, Mark said that, it's not even coming up now. Swans are going to be so strong next year. Second, he's gone for. Second, wow. And Chris has said, I've gone 7th for Swansea. Again, like Cardiff, expect much better season than last season. And Rennie says, I don't know why Swansea got a new badge. It's an ode to an old badge. So they've sort of gone retro with it. But yeah, I've got Swansea in 6th. Moving on to 5th then. Mella, if you are still here, I've put Watford in 5th. And to be fair, I don't know why. Watford are another club, a bit like Sunderland. They could end up either in playoffs, mid-table. Nobody knows what's going to happen in regards from Rob Edwards. Rob Edwards is, came in from Forest Green. Is it going to work for him at Watford? How long is he going to be at Watford for? We know that the managerial merry-go-round at Watford is it's rough, season in, season out. So yeah, Watford in the playoffs. Who knows? Rennie says, I don't. Yeah, Swansea's new badge. Mark says Joe Allen coming in for Swansea. Could be massive, absolutely massive. Renee says maybe 5th Watford. Yep. Mark says Edwards will be sacked by September. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. So many clubs could finish 6th to 10th. Watford and Swansea too. Yeah, I agree. We all know what the championship is like. It throws up some absolute topsy-turvy, weird results, and teams can end up in the playoffs that you didn't expect to. And nobody probably expected Blackpool in the Premier League a good couple of seasons ago. Nobody expected Huddersfield. Nobody expected Luton to be fighting in there. So it just goes to show that how competitive it is. And with a good togetherness and a good group, any club could make it. Any club at all. Chris is 2nd for Watford, in my opinion. Dollars for McFlurry. Them and Norwich will go straight back up. Edwards won't get them promotion. Another manager will. Well, as I say, we all know what happens with Watford. It's like making Watford will be happy that the substitution rule's gone up from 3 to 5, even though they'll probably try making a 6th managerial appointment and blaming it on concussion. And fingers crossed they can get him in. But yeah, they do have this weird way of dealing with managers to Watford. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But tomato, tomato. Dan Bateman is in the house. How are you doing, Dan? Hope you're well. He says, hope you come back up, mate. I love how Burnley do their stuff. Thank you very, very much, pal. Means a lot to hear that. I hope we do. I do have us in 8th. I don't think that we'll have a bounce straight back. I think that we'll sort of consolidate, be happy with finishing just outside the playoffs, like a near miss with a bit of a draft right, we need to go better than that the season after. Let's see what we can achieve. But yeah, hopefully we can do it the first time of asking. I really do hope so. And nice to see you in the chat as well, mate. Chris says as well here, I'm glad Edwards went to Watford as I can't stand Forest Green's owner. He's too smug and arrogant. Also a failed BTEC version of Jack Sparrow. Wow. I mean, don't hold back, Chris. Don't hold back. And he loves seeing him rattled. There you go. Renee says, wait, Burnley I can't see in the Premier League. Wait there in the Championship. We get him in. You're not the first person. You won't be the last. As I say, we are live on Twitch as well. Forgot to add as well. We are live on Facebook at this very moment in time. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitch. And we are live on YouTube. So please do check out all our social platforms. The only thing we're not on is OnlyFans. And I won't be on it anytime soon. Not that I'm raking it in. God, I'd fart in a jar and sell it if I could. But yeah, you won't catch us on OnlyFans. Only Dan's. Could that become a thing? People just called Daniel, and you just share football stuff. Right? Nah. See, this is the thing. Your mind can wander. Your mind can wander. Nippin's in. He says, "Hi, big up. Hope you're well, Nippin. And Nippin Sharma Sports TV. Hope you're well." Chris says it's a fair prediction with Watford. I'll take that. And also, Joey's on OnlyFans. Oh, I bet he is. He's sat there like, "Oh, are you coming for a pant? I can't. Skin. But I can show you a picture of a pair of boobs that I've paid for." I'm joking, Joey. Joking. But it wouldn't surprise me if Joey's on there. He's probably selling feet pics or something like that. Waiting for Zoe to fall asleep and taking action shots of her feet. But who knows? Probably just his own, and then saying it's Zoe's. Let's hope he's still in the chat and he can confirm. Dan says, "What do you make of the new rules being added?" I say leave it be. It's not needing to be changed. Well, flipping said. For me, the most thing I'm looking forward to in this championship season, no VAR. No VAR. Ball hits the back of the net, jump about, celebrate, end up 3 rows in front. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the campaign. That's what I'm looking forward to. If it's something bullshit like an offside decision and it's referee's error, that's how the game of football was. Stop changing it. Stop bringing in all this robotic shit. These people at Stanley Park saying, "Oh, well, I don't want to alarm you, mate. You have got it wrong, but, you give what you want to give because you're the man there. You're the one being paid in the middle of the park." It's bullshit. So, yeah, no VAR, ball at the back of the net, celebrate, loving it. This 5 substitution rule, it just favours the big clubs in the Premier League, doesn't it? Manchester City can change half of their first team with 5 players or potentially 6 with a concussion. And yet, what does it do? It just favours the big clubs. I'm sorry, it pisses me off. Mark says, "Geez, Dan, oh, mate, honestly, I'm like Oliver. This hat is only on my head when I'm live. When it's not, I'm sat there waiting in front of me, shaking it with a couple of 2s and 1s in." Chris with a laughing emoji, same with Paul. And he says, exactly that, no VAR, winning more than we lose. Get in. Rene says, "I hope there is no VAR. I really hate it, to be honest." Yeah, there isn't in the Championship. Unfortunately for Leicester, you're going to have to deal with that shit. You're probably still going to have to deal with another season of conceding from corners. So we'll see what happens. Chris says, "When is it going to stop with the subs?" Oh yeah, it won't. In a few years, Premier League teams will want 7 subs. It'll go on and on. It will. The more that these big clubs try telling the FA, FIFA, and all that shite, right, that this needs to change, that needs to change. We want this, we want that. Our clubs are knackered. In the Premier League, there is 20 teams. In the Championship, there is 24, right? And them 24 teams have to play each other twice, same as the 20 teams in the Premier League. But yet the games in the Premier League are more spaced out. Then you've got in the Championship the cup competitions. In the League One and League Two, you've got the likes of the Johnson's Paint Trophy, EFL Cup, League Cup, and then obviously all these other competitions that yet leagues with more teams in are playing more games in the Premier League. Are we playing too many games? On your fucking back, Premier League teams. Are we playing more games? Fed up of it. Don't change something if it's not broken. Leave football as it was. Anyway. Let's calm it down. Let's take it back to reality. Dan says, "I agree. VAR is shat. Southampton got fucked by it many times." Exactly. It's a load of bollocks, mate. Matt says, it's that if Man City can't break down a team like Fulham, they can bring 5 game changes on and win. It's bullshit. Exactly. It favours them. Without a shadow of a doubt. And if they keep changing it, the rules of football will die. Yeah, I know a lot of family and friends of stuff have said just football is not interested in. It's not interesting anymore. There's too many changes, too much bullshit things being added, too many backhanded bribes and stuff happening in football. It's all money orientated now. It's not about putting the ball in the back of the net and making a success. It's all about feeding the successful teams that are there already. But hey ho, we move. The Premier League plays once a week most of the time before European games. EFL play Saturday, Tuesday regularly. League 1 and 2 have to play EFL trophy games. Exactly. It's a load of bollocks. Fed up with VAR. I hope VAR can be stopped. Oh, if it's going to be stopped, it'll be for something else that's bollocks as well. So into fourth. And I've gone Sheffield United. Now, I may potentially could have swapped Borough or Burnley into fourth, maybe, instead of Sheffield United. Obviously, they've had trouble recently with Ryan Brewster and Ollie McBurney. I know they've recently sold Ollie Burke. But, yeah, I don't know. Sheffield, I don't know whether Paul Heckingbottom can get them into the playoffs. I don't know whether you guys agree with that or not. It's a bit of again, Sheffield United, another one where you're like, can they? Will they do it? Dan says golf is more exciting. Say bloody golf. Exactly. That says something. Bristol City for Sheffield United, you mean, Dan? Wishful thinking, Anthony. Wishful thinking. That's cold. I can't believe I'm supping a cold brew. Chris says, I've gone sixth for Sheffield United and to lose in the semi-finals of the playoffs. Same as last season for me. Mark says seventh for them. And Rene says golf is better than football, to be honest. So, yeah, fourth position for Sheffield United. Moving into the top three then. And I have gone for West Brom in third. Now, I think I'm trying to flog a dead horse here, thinking that Steve Bruce is going to get West Brom playing football and doing successful. We'll see. Callum's in the chat. Hope you're well, Callum. He says, where did you put my team, Blackpool? I'll tell you where I put your team, Blackpool. You were... let me have a look. Where I put... I think... There we are. I put you in 20th, but it wasn't due to any disrespect for your club. It was due to the fact of, Michael Appleton, is it going to work a second time round? Is it going to, the fact of the Critchley situation, is that going to have any impact on on-field matters? I don't know. But yeah, that's what I've gone for. I've gone for Blackpool in 20th, mate. So sorry if it's low down. I hope you have obviously more success than 20th. But I just think that yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Put it that way. Chris says Sheffield United have well-experienced squad for this league, just not sure about the right manager. Well said. You was linked with Will Smallbone from us. He would do you the world of good, mate. Is he good enough for the Championship? Let me know. I know a lot of people are saying that maybe he needs a season in League One, from what I've read, but I don't know. West Brom champions, Jed Wallace and John Swift in, and some good players already like Daryl DK and Robinson, etc. from Fulham. Is it from Fulham or you're on about Callum Robinson? Yeah, again, West Brom do have a good squad. It's just a shame that they've got Steve Bruce in charge. If he can get them playing, if he can keep Daryl DK fit, because he spent a lot of last season out with injury. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Dan says, West Brom in third. What drugs are you on, buddy? I want the number to your dealer, please. As I say, I completely forgot about Steve Bruce. I mean, it's easy to forget, isn't it, to be honest with you? I mean, you mentioned Steve Bruce. The only thing is good for is a FIFA video running across a pitch when he was at Newcastle, and that was just on a FIFA clip. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's a funny old season. It's going to be a funny old season. I agree. West Brom third, Chris says, and think they will win the playoffs. Steve Bruce has a track record in this league. People can howl at the moon like a wolf as they want, saying he's a dinosaur. Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed. And Callum says, okay, I think you'll be 21st. To be fair, I've only put us in 8th. I've not put us in the playoffs or fighting for, promotion. I just think that we'll be consolidating. And yeah, I think you probably do better than 20th. It's just that when I was putting it out, there's a few teams that I wish I could have swapped around. But it's just all opinion, innit? It's just all opinion. Who knows what's going to happen? Anthony says, Dan, I'll send you my league predictions. Yeah, by all means, mate. By all means, I'll be sharing my predictions as well on Twitter probably tomorrow morning after this, and you can all obviously have a laugh then. But it'll still be the same one as I've done now. I'm not going to chop and change it. And Steve Bruce gets teams out of this league. He does. He does. Can he do it with West Brom though? Can he do it with West Brom? Is Mateus Pereira back there now as well? I think he were out on loan last season, wasn't he? I think he's back there this season. Whether he goes or not is another one. And Carmsel will smack you to Tim's cry, Dan. What do you mean, Callum? Yeah, just let me know what you mean. Dan says there, I think Scott Twine is going to be a beast. He's one I believe will make it to the Premier League. If that is with Burnley or not, I don't know. Yeah, he seems a good little player. Had a really good campaign at MK Dons last season. Can he cut it in the Championship? I'm sure of it. If he can get 20 goals in League One, as long as he fits Burnley's system and it works for him, we play to his strengths, could be a decent addition. That's what I thought. He thinks that they'll beat us twice. Right. Oh, we'll beat you both times we play. Right. I get you, mate. I get you. And as Paul says there, yeah, he thinks the Lashers will beat us twice. Tell you what, if you do, I'll chuck 50p in for your next donkey ride, mate. How's that sound? How's that? It's all banter. He knows it. Mark says, Callum, I think he means, yeah. Oh, typical. We've got bots in. Nope, new there. Get rid of that. Jesus Christ. Typical. You always get one. That was probably Joey on another profile. Chris says, no, Pereira's in Saudi Arabia now. I wonder why. Yeah, he was a decent player, him. Very decent player. And Dan says, I think Will Smallbone would do you good, mate. I think he would be a good backup player. You could swap us for Brownhill. The fact that you are asking us to take him must mean that he's shit. Or, that he's not good enough. I would not swap him for Brownhill. I'm sorry, but if you was a banker and this was deal or no deal, it would be a no deal, Dan. Sorry. In second place, I know West Brom call themselves boing boing and they're up and down like a yo-yo, but so are Norwich. Is Pookie going to be firing on all cylinders? I don't know. He's getting older now. But is Pookie going to be the one to take them back up with his goals? Are they going to be able to find, is Rashika going to be able to hit the Hearts? Is he going to be able to hit the Hearts in the Championship? Josh Sargent, they've not really lost the bulk of players of Norwich either. So, pardon me, it will be interesting to see what Norwich can do. Todd Cantwell will be back for them. I'm sure he will slot straight in there if he doesn't get a move to the Premier League. I'm surprised that he didn't stay with Norwich. I'd love Todd Cantwell at Burnley. I think he's brilliant, and I think he's so massively underrated. But we'll see what happens. Dan says there, laughing emojis, love it. Muhuddin is in the house. He says, big up, bro. Big up to yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining. How do you see it? How do you see the Championship going? Let us know your thoughts in the chat as well. Chris says, Norwich is champions and Watford second for me, which is probably predictable and boring. Yeah, it is. It is a little bit boring. To be fair, you expect teams that have come down to go straight back up. It's understandable. And Dan says, Pookie wants out, and they are saying no. So he's going to put in his all for a club he doesn't want to be at. Well, there you go. There you go. I mean, who's going to take him now? He didn't exactly rip it up last season. Does he want to leave because he hasn't had that much game time? Is that another reason? Because he wasn't sort of banging them in for fun in the Premier League. If anything, I don't know. Chris says Dean Smith, well experienced for this league, knows how to get out of it. He does. The fact that Norwich turned down Frank Lampard and took Dean Smith, probably a good option for them, even though they were relegated. Dean Smith is a good manager. No fault in that. That is a good shout, Paul. That is a good shout. He says here, I think Norwich may be due a poor champ season. Yeah, can see it happening. This is Paul's shout. I could see Pookie at Forest. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Not a bad shout at all. Would he go there? I mean, they've just signed that. Forest have just signed Taiwo Awoniyi or something like that. So they've just signed a striker in him. Whether they'll get him as well, obviously depends on if they ship out the old Lewis Graben and a few of the strikers there that weren't really ripping it up. Saba leaders in. He says, "Yes, Ed. Hey, how are you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope you had a lovely weekend." Niall's in the chat as well. He says, "Hello, Danny. How are you, Niall? Hope you are well, mate." Yeah, they signed him from a French team. Chris says, Frank Lampard is the blind leading the blind. Norwich made the right decision. 100% agree. And Dan says, will the gravel eater ever return to Burnley in the future? I can't see Dash being back at the club. If he ever does, it will be in the latter stages of his life, doing sort of, as you see with some of these managers from, that if they don't falter down the pyramid into these clubs, they sort of change their role to like scout or something like that. Maybe he could come back to the club as, I don't know, a director of football, as we've seen with people like, who's the guy that's just gone in at West Ham? Sabi, you'll know. What's he called? He was just manager of QPR last season. Managed Rangers. I can see his face. I just can't. Mark Warburton, that's it. He's he's been a director of football. He's been manager, assistant manager. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't think he will though. Don't think he will. Where's Kate? She's knackered. She's probably upstairs. She's probably gone to sleep. If she hasn't, I'm sure she'll put a comment in. If she doesn't put a comment in, she's either asleep or due to come down at some point. She was upstairs without putting our little girl to bed at 8 o'clock, but it wouldn't surprise me if Kate just crawled into bed herself. She is knackered, to be fair. But yeah, as Paul says there, yeah, Warburton. Dan says, I love how you know who I meant straight away. Class act. I'll take that. Chris says, head of recruitment for Dash. Ooh, no, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want that. We've seen Dash's recruitment. He tends to go for these people. He tends to go for the same people that tired and tested, tried footballers. The only way Dash will come back is as an opposition manager. He will go on to big things. He will. But then we saw with Owen Coyle, and as much as he jumped ship, it wasn't sort of didn't work out for him. Whether it works out for Dash, who knows? Paul says, if Derby's new owners have decent backing, I could see them go for Dash. Would he go to League One after the success of Burnley? I don't know. Because he was sacked, maybe. If he just walked, I don't know. That's interesting, that one, Paul. Very interesting. Kate says she's not asleep. Chris says head of recruitment and director of football, which is same thing. Yeah, pretty much. Zoe says, fed up of listening to you. You're not the first woman to have said that, and you won't be the last. And Sably says, yay, a West Ham shirt, lol. Let's have a look at some more of the comments. Chris says, fair enough. Kate says, I'm in the background. Yeah. Mark says, keep him away from the club, have a fresh new start. I agree. Renee says, I hope Forest get relegated in the Premier League. He likes Irish players, right? Probably. I know he likes British players, so yeah. Renee says, hey Kate, how are you? Chris says, Dash waiting for another Prem job, do you think? It'll be interesting. I don't think that Forest will ever sack Steve Cooper at the moment. I could see him going to Forest. I mean, he did play for them as a YTS when he was younger, but who knows? Bournemouth would be a good shout. I think some of the promoted sides would be a good shout for him. But we'll see. Paul said Dash plus his team will cost someone a fortune. We saw it. We've said it with a few managers, though. We've said it, when David Moyes were at Everton, when he goes to Man United, he's going to have all these riches to spend, and he's going to think, "Shit, what do I do?" We see that. Cyber Leader says, "Tell her to come on. It's totally up to her, not me." Mark says, "I hope Forest stay up and do the double over Leicester." Hey, go on, you get him. Hanging from that bit of thread, Mark. Dan says, what do you make of our chances in the Premier League this year, mate, out of curiosity? I thought last season you were sort of in the mud when you got rid of Ings, you lost a few, lost Vestergaard. I don't know. Southampton are a sort of an unknown quantity. You don't know what you're going to get one season to the next. But Ward-Prowse is stuck with you. He obviously wants to be a Saints legend, and I'm sure he will be, even if he was to go. But yeah, I think he'll stay up though. I think he'll stay up comfortably mid-table or just flirting above. But I'm sure you'll be fine. It all depends on transfers. I think, where was that? Cyberlid said I wanted Millwall to come up. Eesh. Why would you want that for? I wonder. Like Matt says, I bet. Chris says the police have enough to deal with. Don't need Millwall coming up. Carl says Watford will sack their manager. He will go back there. Bandit's in. He says, hey, how are you doing, Bandit? Hope you're well. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you in the chat. Hope your Portsmouth FIFA career is going well. I know I haven't been doing any FIFA content lately, but I will be doing. So we'll see what happens there. Mark says Saints 14th. Not a bad shout, Mark. Not a bad shout at all. Renee says Foxes was eaten at Forest and burning it down. We'll see. And Dan says fair enough, mate. Summed up well. As I say, it all depends on what happens, transfers and things. You've been quiet really. Last season, it was more all about outgoings than incomings. So getting some people in is going to be pivotal. Losing Fraser Forster. Are you happy with that? Let's see. Mark says, didn't they smash you, Renee? Sably says we haven't seen them since 10 years ago, and even then we're in a film, weren't it? Chris says Southampton have a good first half of the season and on the beach second half of the season in their shorts and Mr. Whippy ice cream. And Dan says Portsmouth, bloody Portsmouth, get out. He's not a Portsmouth fan, is Bandit. He just started a career with Portsmouth on his FIFA career. That's it. But he's not a Portsmouth fan, so don't worry about it. What do you think of Sonny Perkins leaving us? I mean, what do you think? More importantly, what do you think? What was he destined for big things, or is he just sort of one of those players that looked like they were doing really well and then just went and took a nosedive with a career? Pompey. Dennis says, any prediction on the Premier League table? Yeah, I mean, there'll be one next season. There'll be a Premier League table next season. Some team will win it. 3 teams will get relegated. Yeah, I think that's how it pretty much pan out. I think I've got Premier League one down to a T. Ryan's come in at the perfect time. At the perfect time. Are you wondering where Huddersfield are? You will find out. I was watching old episodes of The Bill, Sunhill with a big ball. Right, lovely now. I mean, yeah, don't know what that has to do with the Championship, mate, but fair play. Mark says, Perkins, class player, Saba. Renee says, that one bad game. Mark says, looks a real talent. Saba says, if he wants to leave, let him, but he wanted money. Good answer to that question about prediction of Premier League. Well, that's true. That's true. Ryan says, I am wondering, mate, how drunk were you when you predicted Huddersfield first? Let's see. Pompey is a swear word in my household. Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet you wouldn't mind, as long as somebody came into your house, they could have had shit on the shoes and all sorts. As long as they don't mention Pompey, it wouldn't bother you. Exactly, Matt. You've been watching the tennis. No, I watched a bit of it the other day when Raducanu and Andy Murray, and that was it. Not watched any after that. Niall says, did you see? No, not asked. Samuel says, take care, Dan. Got to be up at 5. No problem. We will be finishing this soon anyway. But yeah, thank you very much for popping in. Really nice to see you. And hopefully see you in the chat again when we go live next. So yeah, take care, mate. All the best. Joey says, Dan, strange world. We keep all the players we have on the books now, not about Weghorst, plus add the 2 from Standard Liège, plus a striker. Where do you put us then? Still in 8th. Still in 8th, or just make the playoffs in 6th. I don't want to sort of overpower it and say, we're going to be a fucking powerhouse. We're going to be amazing. I want us to be, but realistically, without the claret tinted glasses, I think we've got to try and have this season of working out who we are, what our new identity is, getting a team playing together. And for me, that's got to be more pivotal than where we finish. Cyber says, I've got some love for Pompey. Not wrong with that. I don't love that bell ringer, though. He's a right knob. Flaming does my head in. That's the one thing I hate when you play Pompey, hearing that shit. Absolutely correct. Mark says, yes, I have now, but what has that got to do with this? I agree. Ryan says, we love you, Huddersfield, we do. Or Huddersfield, we love you. And that leads us nicely onto top of the league. I think Huddersfield may win the league this season. As I've said there, I think Huddersfield may win the league. It could be... Nobody knows what's going to happen. I just think that Huddersfield, after the disappointment of what happened in the playoff final, that's going to have spurred them on. I am sure Carlos Corberan is going to have said, right, we use that as a stepping stone. How close we were. 2 bullshit decisions stopped us being a Premier League team. Technically, right now, Huddersfield should be a Premier League team over Forest. And yeah, for me, that should be enough to spur them on. Keep hold of Sober Thomas. They've tied Lee Nichols down to a new deal, which I think is brilliant. I just think if Huddersfield can keep the train going and keep going in the right direction without any stops, Huddersfield could be on for another good season this year. Couple of comments. Rene says it's revenge time next season, Leicester Forest. My phone's gone crazy. Let's have a look. Chris says, wow, I predicted Huddersfield 16th, like Luton. I think they'll drop off massively from last season. I think they overachieved. Mark says Huddersfield 19th. Ouch. Max says, for me. Paul says 2nd to 7th in Joey's scenario. Yeah, we've gone from 2 to 8 to 2 to 7. I like that. Just give Joey that little glimmer of hope. That little glimmer of hope. Fox is in the chat as well. He says, I have Burnley 6th to 8th this season. Too many changes for instant success. Don't know whether you saw Foxy earlier. Obviously, we with the predictions. But yeah, we did go for 8th. So I think, we've got to keep it realistic. Fair enough, he says. Fair enough. Ryan says, no chance, Chris and Mark. I'm sure Huddersfield fans will be looking forward to it. Let's have a look. The comments going mad. Where am I? I've lost where I am. This is a rebuild season, Dan says, for Burnley. Yes, it totally is. Anthony is put shit ton of laughing emojis and put Huddersfield. Exactly, Anthony. I don't know what Dan has been drinking in that mug. Who knows? You never know. Ryan says, wow, Dan, I'm loving this prediction. Who knows? And then he says there, daylight robbery in that final, but I'm not saying anything more about it. Nah, I wouldn't. It's all right. He got his comeuppance, John Moss. He got his record shot took a beating, or should I just say his record took a beating? This is why you shouldn't do drugs, guys. And then he says, I hope Burnley finish second down. Hey, I'll snap your hand off for that. Anthony says, I can see a can of pussy energy drink on the side. Yes, Anthony, slimy drink. Mark knows a lot about those things. Joey says, that's all I need. And Foxy says, Huddersfield automatic promotion, other way around for me. Norwich first, Huddersfield second. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Guys, let me know in the chat who you think is going to win the league. I know that some of you have said Burnley to win it, which I expect. If we do, brilliant. If not, then it just, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I just think they'll use what happened last season, Huddersfield, and it'll send them on a bit of a run. Matt says, oh, yes, I know my cats. Ryan says, we'll take that, Foxy. And Dan says, yeah, they were robbed massively. 2 nailed on pens. Shocking game. Paul says, nice one. Catch you soon. Up the clouds. Catch you soon, Paul. I know it's been a bit of a long one, coming up nearly 2 hours. But thank you for being in as well. I did want to keep it realistic. I didn't want people to just think that I'm just going to call Burnley win the league. We're going to piss this. What's that meme? Don't be a Joey. Don't be a Joey. Foxy says, who did you have for relegation? Sorry, I joined late. It was Rotherham, Birmingham, and I can't remember what the last one was. I'll have a look for you in a moment. Dan says, I think Middlesbrough, personally. Interesting. Max says, great stream. Welcome to the EFL, where you have no rest for content. Exactly. Saturday, Tuesday. It's going to be interesting. HMS Pistol League, genuinely, keep the core we have and a few hungry star makers. Paul is a Joey. Renee says, for me, it's Burnley first, Huddersfield second, Norwich third. Take that. Ryan says, yeah, I said that we can use that big disappointment to go one better this time. As a fan, it still hurts. So the players will certainly feel it too, but that can be used to spur them on, like you said, 100%. Anthony says, Dan, 9 out of 10 for the stream. You would have got 10, but first position let you down. And Chris says, take care, Dan, pal. Great stream, as always. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Foxy, before I end this, fair play, Joey is optimistic. Oh, very optimistic. I will let you know. So, as I say, going back to bottom of the division, we started out with Rotherham in 24th position. Then we had Birmingham in 23rd and Hull in 22nd was the last one. So yeah, as you said there, Hull as well, I reckon. So yeah, we're on the same wavelength. Dan says, anyway, take care, buddy. All the best this season, mate. Top man. Cheers, Dan. Really do appreciate it and hope to see you in the comments very soon. I reckon Reading will be in trouble this season and get relegated. Where did we have Reading? Funnily enough, I don't think they were that far away. We had them in 18th. But And as Renee says there, bye Dan, take care of yourself. Great stream. Thank you very much. As I say, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. It has been a bit of a long one. I do apologise for that. Thank you for sticking with us. As I say, please do hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on this video if you haven't already. It really does help. Please, I can't stress enough, subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this channel. Let's reach that 500 mark. And, you know, let's grow together. Let's grow together. You can find us on all social media platforms. Here's where you can find us. So, yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, you name it, we are on it. The only one we're not on is OnlyFans, as I said earlier, and you won't catch us on it either. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, it is all opinion, and, you know, we'll be back. We're going to be doing some more videos as well. We are going to be doing videos on the home kits. We are going to be obviously reviewing them to say whether they are lit or shit. And we will be doing the home or away kits with that. Obviously, match previews will be back. I'm sure Ryan will be back for the first game of the season when Burnley obviously open the Championship campaign away at the John Smith Stadium, if that's what it's called. It's changed its bloody name. But yeah, all the best and hope to see you in the next one. I'm sure you will. Anthony says, was a good stream. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Everyone in the comments, as I said, there's too many to mention. You've all been absolutely fantastic and brilliant. Again, thank you very much for sticking with us. Please drop a like on this video. Please do check out where we are on social media. And I will see you very, very soon with another video. Take care and enjoy your week.